Hey guys, Thomas Kuzma here, that authentic Australian Aspie here, showing you the lovely Australian outback. And I thought I would also talk to you guys about all those lovely things that we discussed back in November. For those who don't know, back in November I was delivering a lovely talk to you awesome Americans up in Putney in Vermont. There I talked about building friendships and relationships. So I thought I would send you guys a video. I had some permission from John Elder Robeson and Sovlegi, who told me that, you guys would really benefit from this type of interactive media. Don't know where the interactive will come from. It's been a wicked 6 months since then. I have been promoted into a new role at Aspect. I am now teaching 24 students across 8 schools about what it's like to live with autism. I'm also running my own business called TK Hub World, and I'm playing the Switch. I tell you, I've been playing Celeste and it has been bonkers hard. Now I know many of you are just past your high school career or are well into being adults, but we still struggle with having friendships all over the world today. Or whenever you are, how old you are, it's always going to be an issue. So I thought I would make this video and see where we go. Now, I would say more, but this is hella cold out here, and I gotta make myself a honey lemon tea. So how about we go up to my veranda and talk more? Come with me. There we go. So, we share a variety of different types of conversations in the world of today. This could be through face-to-face conversations, digital communications, and smoke signals. Okay, maybe scratch that last one. The thing is, when we have these conversations in the world of today, there are a variety of different matters that can be overlooked when it comes to the conversations we share. I mean, the social pragmatists have gone and shown you how these can be fantastic ways of building friendships, but there's some really lifelong matters that can be hell of a challenge. For instance, if you are thinking about, relationships and the types of people you want to truly be friends with, you gotta understand who are those people you're talking to. And then from there, you got to really build on what comes next. Building friendships is similar to Pokemon. These guys here. I think what's one of the fantastic things about what makes Pokemon great is that you're not just battling Pokemon. You are also building friendships with these guys by treating them to crazy spa days, by feeding them candy, and by making sure that they're doing okay. Now, I'm not saying that you should shove your friends into a tub, but what I'm also saying is that when we look at building Pokemon and relationships that we have, there are some coexisting matters that really come into existence, kind of like a Venn diagram. When we are socializing in the world of today, there's a lot of matters that we have to think about when it comes to our day-to-day conversations. I mean, if you think about it, it's really crazy how we interact with a variety of different people, but there are levels of friendships too. So you've got acquaintances and you've got real friends, and then you've got best friends, and you've got relationships, and then there's a whole ordeal behind that. Now, if we look at those first two, acquaintances and friendships, we can really see what the differences are between these matters. For instance, you wouldn't exactly invite an acquaintance to a party. You probably just hang out with an acquaintance in everyday hangouts. And your acquaintances probably won't help you out in a quest for an MMO RPG. So there's a lot to take into consideration. Building friendships is a delicate balancing act of time, communication, energy, and self. Now, if we have a think about it, it's a little bit like Mario Party, But instead of everyone competing against each other, everyone's trying to get to a common goal, kind of like the raft game from Super Mario Party. If we have a look at it, when we are communicating with the many people we interact in the world of today, there is so many things that are going on that we tend to forget about matters like eye contact, like body language, and making sure that the other person has their input too. When I start talking about a conversation, I realize that I have to include the other person as well. I mean, when I was 10 years old, I had the opportunity to go and see the turning of the century. So I went in a yacht, my uncle's yacht, with my family and his family and their family friends. And I struck up a conversation with someone who I thought I could be friends with. 10 minutes into the conversation about Crash Bandicoot, my mum came around and said, "Thomas, do you know that he's never played these types of games?" And I said, "Duh, that's why I'm telling him everything about it." When I look at conversations in the world of today, I recognize that we have to go and spend an appropriate amount of time talking about specific topics. I know many of you out there play Super Smash Brothers with characters like Wario. And for me, I recognize that if I was to start talking about Super Smash Brothers, I'd immediately think about how to include them into the conversation. So I'd talk about how it's a massive crossover event, kind of like Infinity War or Endgame. That these characters are all on a 2D fighting, platforming stage. And that they feature such characters like Mario, King Dedede, and Samus from Metroid. Then I would ask them, what type of video game characters do you like? Who knows? They might mention someone who you really enjoy, or they might mention someone who appears in the lovely games that we play. So you two have been talking for about 5 minutes, and you really enjoy the person that you're talking to, and you want to build a friendship from there. So it's best to see if they have a platform online that you can speak to. So normally I'd ask if they've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or the many other different types of social media constructs. If they agree to, hanging out with me online, then that's great. But if they don't want to, then that's okay. I mean, they've just met you. You can always just continue the conversation. And then at the end, ask, "Can I talk to you online?" If not, then that's okay. That's their provocative. Provocative, you know what I'm talking about. In the cycles of life in which we live today, there will be many friendships that we will have, and many opportunities that will feel like they've been wasted. We'll feel like there are times where we have failed our friends, or we've failed an opportunity to have an awesome friend that we could have. But if we have a look at video games that we play today, we'll notice that failure is all around us. We've got orange marsupials falling down pits. We've got Pokemon fainting. Souls destroying. I was telling you about Celeste. That's a hell of a hard game. And those bloody blue shells that will hit you just as you are going over the finish line. When it comes down to it, the difference between the failures in games and the failures in real life is that when we fail in real life, that anxiety and that depression that is caused from it, it lasts a lot longer than your everyday video game death or faint. And that's okay, because we need that recognition to understand that, okay, we may not have, had this friend in our lives, or maybe we've had a fight, but as time goes on, we're going to grow and develop as people. And we're going to become much greater. And we will find those awesome friends that are in our world today. No one starts in Pokemon with just their Rattata. Obviously they have their starter, but they'll also move on and grow and develop building a fantastic array of Pokemon. And just like that, you will also build your fantastic array of friends too. So don't worry if you ever feel like, things are a bit tight or lonely, because you're taking those stepping stones into something amazing. You okay, Wario? Okay. So that's about it from me. There's a lot more that I could talk about, but I live a very busy life. If Andy and Sovlegi are big fans of the video that you are seeing today, who knows, maybe I'll make more videos like this in the future. I can understand that there is so much to take in place, but hopefully we'll figure out something that could work out. So I hope you sit back, enjoy the week, and I'll catch you next time.